G'day gang. Welcome back to the channel. I'm MP Numbers and I appreciate you being here. Today we're doing something a little different. Today we're going mobile. So I've been asked by the fantastic folks over at Nomad Games to check out this Mystic Vale game. It is a game that exists on Steam, has been around for a while and has recently been ported to mobile, to Android and iOS. They kind enough to give me a key, to give me the opportunity to test it out, to see what I think and share the word with you fine folks. So hang out, watch the video. I'll show you what I think of the game. I will note that I have not played the computer version, so this is my first look. And if you stay around, hang out to the end of the video, we've got some keys to give away. Pick up the game yourself, save a couple of dollars, and of course you can let us know what you think as well. So let's dive in. So Mystic Vale is a unique online card game which lets you customize your cards during the game while collecting resources to earn victory points and defeat your opponents. When you start your turn, cards are dealt out until the cards on the board plus the card on top of your library give you a total of 3 decay. Straight off the bat, you have the chance to plant another card. Basically what that means is if you go ahead and plant, it brings the top card of your library into the battlefield and you flip the next top card. If you get a 4th decay point, your turn is instantly over and you cannot do anything more. Early turns of the game, we're on turn 1 right now. I don't think it's a good idea, so we'll go ahead and just skip the planting phase straight away. Secondly, we move to the harvesting phase. Now this is where you need to take advantage of your resources, purchase upgrades and customizations to your cards to make them give you more resources and help you work towards a victory. Again, the game starts off pretty slowly. So, for example, this one, all we're going to be doing is picking up a fertile soil and dropping it on one of our cards. As you can see, we now have no resources left because we only had 2 to start with, and we move on to our harvest phase. The way that resources works, as you can see, each of the cards in play have this little blue dot on them. Now for each card in play that has a blue dot, or for each blue dot that is on your battlefield, you add a resource to your pool, and that's what you use to purchase card upgrades. For example, the fertile soil adds an extra point to your pool, and then the next time that card flips up, you'll get more. You get more resources. So the idea is to kind of power up your lands to start with, and then go ahead and you'll be able to buy bigger stuff, as you can see. You can see the cards that are available for purchase. They go up to 8 at the moment, and they go up from there. There are other resources, of course, which we'll cover later as we go on, which you can purchase other kinds of cards and upgrades. For this time, I kind of want to pick up this Earth Chant Chorus. It also has a special ability, say other advancements added to this card cost 2 less. But one mistake I keep making is I keep going to purchase cards in my planning phase, so you've got to skip that one. So let's drop that. So this means that any card, other advancement added to this card costs 2 less. So we're going to add this to a blank card. And while it doesn't give me any bonuses, it means that I'll be able to purchase some more expensive stuff in my next turns. So this time we got lucky and we flipped a couple of fertile soils, so we have 4 resources to work with here. So again, we're skipping our planning phase. I haven't yet come across a time when I would actively want to be planting unless we're deep in the game and I have only have 2 cards and a decay on top of my library. Then I usually look at planting to see if I can get a couple of extra free cards out there. Now we've got a few more resources, so we're going to try looking at some more expensive cards here. We can get a Dawn Singer, which gives you potentially more resources if you can stack your cards right. We can get a Canopy Explorer, place that many cards on top of your deck at the end of your field, and this Peacekeeper Druid can stop you from spoiling sometimes, which is pretty decent, and gives you one of these resources here. We might pick up the Dawn Singer at this point, and I'll put it on a blank card with the goal being to add a lot more of these armor symbols to get more resources when it rolls out next time. Okay, let's have another look. So this is pretty much the game as it goes. So once you kind of continue to build up your boards, you can get to the point where you can start buying bigger and bigger things. The cheapest is always 2 though, so having 1 doesn't really help. So we've got our first couple of cards coming back into play. So this time we'll be able to get some sweet value out of our Earth Chant Chorus. We can pick up some more expensive things. Even though we only have 3 resources, for example, we could pick up a plough and add it to this card, which we'll do now. Plough gives victory points, plough gives resources, all that kind of stuff. Now, one of the good things I found with this game is that it won't let you accidentally pass your turn. So there's still purchasable cards available. Do you want to end your turn? No, we don't. And the purchasable cards are always highlighted here. So we might just grab a fertile soil to add to this card here. So this card's fully stacked now. Whenever this card comes back, it'll give me 2 resources plus 1 of the little green resources there. As you can see, we're starting to see a lot more of these cards come back that we've already customized. We can keep customizing them until they're full, and we can get our highest value. I found at this point I'm yet to win a game, so yeah. But I found that 19 turns is where it's gone both times I've played so far. Let's have a look what we can do. Canopy Explorer. Okay, let's drop a Canopy Explorer down here. One thing that took me a little while to notice is that the positioning of the symbol on the left hand side here tells you where on the card it will go. So if you can't double up with 2 bottoms or 2 tops or 2 middles, because it just doesn't work like that. We might take a risk this turn. We might try planning another card to see if we can get some value here. And we got paid off, so we get an extra point of resources, and the top card is blank, so we don't spoil. Let us go for... Okay, we're just going to be grabbing some fertile soil here. We're just going to keep building up our cards, trying to get some sweet value in those later turns. There we go. So we just got super paid off with a triple fertile soil that time. 6 to spend. Let's see if we can get something big this turn. So what's at 6? We can get a custodian. We can get a plough. That's it. So what we could do here, we could get a hawk. Hawk does add some decay, but it has some pretty good stats otherwise. So we might add this to a blank card and also add a fertile soil to the same card as well. For sure, it's 1 less card coming out. So here's another turn where I'm probably going to plant, just because it's as it is on board, it's not great. And we did not spoil, which is good. Let's risk it again. So we spoiled. Unfortunately, the top card of our library did have decay, which means we hit 4, which means we have to skip our entire turn. Sometimes you take a risk and you fail. Okay, we're not gonna go greedy this time. Let's just buy ourselves. Ooh, we can get a hulking thornhide. Let's grab a hulking thornhide. That's a middler. No, actually, I don't want a middler. I was going to add this thornhide, but I'd have to add it to the discard, which means it'd be double spoiled or decay, whatever it is. You may turn your. This is something that I haven't been able to understand yet. You may turn your blue symbol to the active side. Don't know what that means, but let's drop it anyway. We turned our symbol to the active side. We're at 5. Okay, now we will definitely grab a thornhide here. Let's Drop this on a blank one. Boom. And harvest. So we just picked up our first victory point from that thorn hide. Now, the key is, the way to winning, one thing we haven't talked about, is as you can see, there are a total number of victory points available. For example, at the moment there's 19 left. Once that runs out, that's when the game is over. Whoever has the most wins the game. Pretty straightforward. We've got 7 to work with. Alright. Now see, we've got some extra cards. That's from the ability here. So we're looking for things that can get us victory points without affecting us too much. This Will o' the Wisp seems pretty good. We could add this Dread Coil Cobra over here. Let's go for the Will o' the Wisp. And we'll add it to its own card. By itself. Still 3 to spend, so we can grab some more fertile soil here. Let's just add this one there. So we're building up some cards that are giving us a lot of resources. Then we're trying to get some powerful cards to hopefully get us some victory points as we go. So we're finally at the point where we can purchase ourselves one of these bad boys. Now these are special cards that get played into a separate part of your field. So for example, this time we can play an Azura Lake, and when we harvest we gain 1 resource. So we grab that. Do we wish to flip our token? Honestly, I don't know what it does, so I'm going to hit yes. I genuinely don't know what that ability means. Something hasn't come up in the so let's have a look here. Do I want to plant to get 2 more? What's this do? Yeah, we've done that. Okay. Yeah, let's just get some cards here. We've got another hulking thorn hide. We might add that over here. That uses up all our resources, but now we're opening up our secondary. Once per turn you may spend 2 to use as any of that. Let's just grab a roost here. We can start cashing in if we don't want to purchase anything for more victory points. Okay, opponent is pulling ahead on victory points here. We need to start getting some value. We get our bonus cards from this guy. We get a whole bunch of stuff happening there. Just getting 1. So what we might do is just grab this Feral Chieftain. Ooh, actually no, never mind. Grab this Woodland Warden because it gives us 2 victory points for each armor, and we'll chuck that on with this one, which has a lot of armor stuff happening. I can also grab another over here. And there's nothing I really want. Let's just grab this Sunstone. Okay, we've evened up the victory points here. Let's see if we can't keep ahead. Again, yet to win a game. Hopefully this will be our first one. As you can see, we are out of fertile soils. Now, again, so we've only got the 2 cards, so we're going to take a risk planting here. And we spoiled. It just wasn't, we only had 3 points, so you could argue that maybe we should have not planted. This time we definitely wanted to plant because those, we definitely want this to come out. So let's wing it. We spoiled again. I don't know. It seems like a good gamble. Okay, this is a pretty decent hand, so we can 8 resources to spend here. I mean, can we just... I can only do that once per turn. Okay. So let's just go to planning phase. Let's use this. We're super behind here. Looks like there's little to no chance of winning. That's a shame. And that was the final turn. So we got close. This is probably one of the closest ones I've had. Now, what you can do after the game is you can go through and look at all the cards that were created. So if you look at so these are my cards. These are all the cards that we created along the way and what the deck looked like at the end of it. It's possible I didn't spread out my resources quite enough. I don't know, I'm still trying to get the hang of the strategy. Of course, I want to hear what you've been doing if you had a chance to play this. Let's look at what our opponent did. Yeah, so you can see our opponent had a lot more full cards, where they were definitely spending a lot more money on fertile soils. We might have just killed ourselves by planning a few times where we didn't need to. Yeah. So that's a first look at Mystic Vale. I think the game is cool, very high strategy. The one thing the one piece of feedback I would have is that the tutorial is very complicated. I sat and played the tutorial for about an hour and a half, and I genuinely had no idea how to win the game or how to actually play the game properly by doing that. I had to literally go in and do what I just did there, play some games and work it out as I went along. Hopefully it's given you a bit of an overview. I'll do some more videos as we go, putting a bit of a more higher level. I've got some friends who I'll be hopefully playing some games with. But before we go, as I said, I do have a giveaway. I've got a bunch of codes. So if you have iOS or Android, you can check the game out. What I want you to do is jump in the comments. Make sure you've liked the video. Jump in the comments. For one, let me know what platform you're on, iOS or Android. And for two, let me know what you think. Have you played a game that gives you this much customization? Have you played a game with this much strategy in it? Because I think there is a little bit more strategy than your average card game in this one. What do you think of the card customization technique? Have you played Mystic Vale before? What do you think? What are you going to do if you give it a whack? How do you think you're going to approach the game? How did I go wrong? All that kind of stuff, folks. Look, that's been me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, drop a comment and like the video if you want to be eligible for the giveaways. I will reach out to the winners, so make sure you're following your notifications as well. Other than that, like if you like, dislike if you dislike, subscribe to see more. There will definitely be more Mystic Vale videos where I go a little bit more in depth and play some games with some friends. So thanks for watching. Bye.